Hi there and welcome back to my channel. My name's Abigail and today's video is going to be my quick and easy fish pie recipe. So I'm going to have all the ingredients and the measurements listed down below, so if you want to make it you can go ahead and do that. The first thing that I do is I peel my potatoes. So in this recipe I'm using 1,645 grams of potatoes, so just over 1.5 kilos. This does make quite a hearty big fish pie, so if you want something a bit smaller, obviously just reduce the measurements. But I find this makes like a right size amount for our family and to have spares for the next day. So these are all the potatoes that I've done, as you can see, and what I'm doing in the background is I'm filling up my kettle with water completely and I'm putting that on to boil. And while that's boiling, I'm going to then cut up my potatoes into pieces. I tend to cut up my potatoes pretty small, just because I want them to boil faster. So obviously the smaller you cut them, the faster they're going to boil. So I do this kind of size, and then I stick them into my big, huge old pan over there. And this is how much it makes. So this is quite a big pan of potatoes, as you can see. So that's why I boil my water beforehand, just to make it boil faster. So I stick in all my boiled water there, and right up to the top so it covers it. And then I put my lid on top of that and fit that on tight. Then I crack on with my fish. So I use a fish pie mix. This is a ready kind of one that comes out of Asda, and it just means that you don't have to buy all the separate fishes and do it separately. Here you can just do it all together. So this was frozen in my freezer and I just defrosted it. And because I've defrosted it, I need to get all the extra water out of it. So what I do is I just squeeze all the water out of it essentially into a bowl here, because I don't want to have too much liquid in my fish pie, because I'm going to add liquid as well. So I squeeze that all out, and this fish pie mix contains cod, haddock and salmon. So a nice variety, especially for Samuel to have. And then also I add extra cod fillets, because this is a bit cheaper than the actual fish pie mix if you just buy the cod fillets themselves. So I add that in extra, but I do use the fish pie mix because it is a nice variety for Samuel. So the next thing I do as I make the sauce is I stick in 50 grams of butter, and I put it on a low heat, and then I also add another 50 grams of flour, and it kind of heats up to a breadcrumby consistency, and then it goes into more of a dough. So once it comes into that doughy texture, you want to add your 500 milliliters of blue milk, which is full fat milk. And then you just keep stirring that until it becomes a lot thicker in consistency. So this does take me a wee while actually to get it quite thick. So I would say I did this on a medium heat for around about 10 minutes. And I'll show you the kind of consistency that you want it to have. So you want to do this kind of consistency. So it's not super thick, but it's also like a sauce, a nice sauce thickness essentially. And hopefully you'll have no lumps as well. Then you just stick in all your raw fish. This fish isn't pre-cooked, by the way. It's completely raw. You just stick that in there. For this, I actually turn off the heat. And then I put in my sweet corn. So I put in quite a lot of sweet corn because Samuel loves sweet corn. But obviously you could add in, alternatively you could add in peas, or you could add in something else. And you can also add in an onion. Samuel just struggles to eat onion at the moment because he's still just learning how to eat properly. So he struggles to eat onion. But then I just season it, and then I put in pepper and herbs. I used to use dry herbs because I'm not buying fresh stuff. It's too much money and too much hassle. And then I just spin it all into my dish. This fills up, I would say, about half of the dish that I use for it. And then I just smooth it all down there, as you can see. And then I'm cracking on to my cheese. So I'm grating cheese. This is just however how much I feel like I want to do that day. I think I did about half of this block of cheese, and that's how much it made there. Quite a bit of cheese. And then I start mashing I drain my potatoes once they're boiled, and I start mashing them. So mashy, and then I put in just a bit of blue milk. I didn't measure that. And then just another chunk of butter and some more pepper. And then I also add half of the cheese that I've just grated to make a really nice creamy potato texture. It's super smooth and super nice, and it tastes of cheese. And I don't know about you guys, but Samuel absolutely adores cheese with everything. So the more cheese in it, the better. He loves it. And then I just stick it on top of my pie. So I just do that like that, and then it goes. And then once it's done, I just kind of do it so it's got little points, so that you get little brown bits on top, which I think taste really good, like wee crispy bits. And then I add the rest of my cheese on top. And that is the fish pie prepared. stick it into the oven. I don't bother preheating my oven because I just can't be bothered. So I just put my oven on at 180 degrees Celsius, and this goes in for around about 30 minutes. And that's it done. That's me looking really happy. And that's it. When it comes out, it looks like this. I think it looks absolutely delicious. And it's quite like a big, decent size, you know? Like you're gonna get a few portions out of that. So I'm just gonna show you me cutting it because it looks divine, and I don't know. So maybe people don't like fish pie as much as me, but I think this is delicious, and it tasted as good as it looked. Like seriously, this tasted amazing. And that's Samuel's portion there. He actually ate all of that portion, which I was really impressed about. So Samuel is 9 months old, almost 10 months now, and he ate a lot of that fish pie. So he absolutely loved it. I would highly recommend trying this out if you've got a baby around about the same age as Samuel. He just loved it so much. You could obviously, like I said, change it up by adding a bits of onion, bits of different kinds of veg, add whatever your baby specifically likes. Samuel just happens to like sweet corn. And that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye.